Hello everyone, this is our lecture number 34. In this lecture, we study about the torsion in beams. Actually, when we applied a load on a beam, we know that bending moment and shear force are there. But on several situation or some condition are also have torsional moment. So here we discuss that part, and after that we discuss some design steps or analysis steps of torsion, which is given in IS 456 2000. So here first we have see when we get the torsional moment. So here first we have write on several occasion or on several situation beams and slabs are subjected to torsion. In addition to bending moment and shear force. Loads acting normal to the plane of bending will cause bending moment and shear force. This line you have to remember. When loads acting normal to the plane of bending will cause bending moment and shear force, means if we applied load normal to the plane of bending, then only shear force and bending moment is coming. But if you apply loads away from the plane of bending, then torsion moment is also coming. So here we write however loads away from plane of bending will cause or will induce torsional moment also. Means in that case bending moment and shear force is there, but one extra moment is also there, that is the torsional moment. So on several cases we have to find the torsional moment also. So for examples, if you have space frame, means if you have frame like this, so here we applied a load, here we applied a load, and here we apply a load. So in this case we getting the torsional moment. Or if you have curved beam, and this is the neutral axis, or when we applied load here, so you see here that load acting away from the plane of bending. So in curved beam case or in space frame structure or space structure, you find that torsional moment also. So in that case you have to calculate the torsional moment in beams. Okay, so now we discuss the clauses which are given in our IS 456 2000, how we find the torsional moment and what we do for resist this torsional moment. Likewise, for resist this shear, we provide shear reinforcement. Same here, we provide some reinforcement for resist the torsion. So in our IS 456 2000 clause number 41.3, clause number 41.3, page number 75, page number 75. So if you visit this code, you found various steps is given for finding this torsion. So first formula, we have to find the equivalent shear. Equivalent shear. So for finding the equivalent shear, we have given one equation, and VE is equal to VU plus 1.6 TU upon B. 1.6 TU upon B. Here we write VU. VU means factored shear force. This is one the factored shear force. This is factored equivalent shear force, and this is the stress TU. Okay, torsional moment. So this is also the factored torsional moment. So here we write where VE is equal to equivalent shear. Equivalent shear. VU is equal to shear. TU is equal to torsional moment, and B is equal to breadth of the beam. Okay, after finding this VE, you have to calculate equivalent nominal shear stress. Equivalent nominal shear stress. In our shear reinforcement case, we have find only nominal shear stress, but here we have to find the equivalent shear stress, because here we have to use VE. So formula is same as shear, but here we changed VE instead of VU. So tau VE is equal to VE upon small BD. Tau VE is equal to VE upon small BD. Okay, so you have first find the equivalent shear, and this equivalent shear you have to put in our equation. Tau VE is equal to VE upon BD. After finding this tau VE, you have to check this value. After finding this tau VE, you have to check this value. Tau VE check, then tau VE is less than is equal to tau C max. Sorry, tau VE does not exceed the tau VE does not exceed the tau C max. Same value you have used in case of shear reinforcement. So here you use this value, and if you find tau V is greater than tau C max, then you have to redesign the section. But if you find tau V is less than tau C max, then it's safe for design. Okay, so third step is you have to find tau C max and see tau V is less than tau C max. If tau V is greater than tau C max, then you have to redesign this member. Fourth one, if equivalent shear stress not exceed tau C, if equivalent shear stress not exceed tau C, same like in our previous shear reinforcement lecture, we see that tau VE means tau VE if not exceeds tau C, then this we have to design for the minimum shear reinforcement. We have design for minimum shear reinforcement. When tau V is less than tau C, and this tau C you find with table number 19 of IS 456 2000. This tau C you find table number 20 of IS 456 2000. So our step number 4 is we have to check tau V is less than tau C or greater than tau C. If tau V is less than tau C, then we have designed for minimum shear reinforcement as provided in clause 26.5.1.6. 26.5.1.6. After you getting tau V is greater than tau C. Now if you getting tau V is greater than tau C, then what you have to do? If you getting tau VE is greater than tau C, tau V is greater than tau C, then you have to design for both longitudinal and transverse reinforcement provided according to clause 41.4. In our previous lecture of shear reinforcement, what we have to do when we get tau V is greater than tau C, so we have to find VUS and provide the stirrups in form of inclined, vertical or bent up bars. But in case of torsional moment, what we have to do, if we getting tau V is greater than tau C, then we have to design both longitudinal and transverse reinforcement according to clause 41.4 to resist the torsional moment. Okay, so let's see clause number 41.4 what we have given for finding the longitudinal and transverse reinforcement. So after getting this value, we move to our step number 6. First we have to find the longitudinal reinforcement. So this reinforcement is provided in two portions. If required, is provided in compression zone also. First we have to provide in tension zone. So you have given one formula for finding this is ME1 is equal to MU plus MT. Longitudinal reinforcement is equal to ME1 is equal to MU plus MT, where MU is equal to bending moment at cross section and MT is equal to TU 1 plus capital D upon B divided by 1.7. So this is the equivalent bending moment. ME1 is the equivalent bending moment. Okay, so the longitudinal reinforcement shall be designed to resist the equivalent bending moment. This is designed to resist equivalent bending moment, or ME1. Longitudinal reinforcement is designed, here we write is designed to resist ME1. ME1 is the equivalent bending moment. This is the case when we applied reinforcement in tension side. Okay, here you know that Tu is the torsional moment, B is the width of the beam, and D is the overall depth. Now if here we get MT is exceed the numerical value of moment MU, then we have to provide longitudinal reinforcement in compression phase also. When we getting here MT as exceed the numerical value of the moment MU, means after that you have to check if MT exceed the numerical value MU, means if MT exceed the numerical value of the moment MU, then longitudinal reinforcement shall be provided on the flexural compression phase such that beam can also withstand an equivalent ME2 is given by ME2 is equal to MT minus MU. ME2 is equal to MT minus MU, and ME2 being taken as the opposite sense to the moment MU. So this clause is given in our IS 456. If you getting MT is exceed the MU, then you have to provide longitudinal reinforcement on flexural compression phase also. For that you have to find the ME2. So ME2 is equal to MT minus MU. Now this is the case for longitudinal reinforcement. Now we have to provide transverse reinforcement also. So for finding the transverse reinforcement, we have given one clause in our code. That clause is transverse reinforcement. So in our code they have given two-legged closed loop, closed hoops, enclosing the corner, longitudinal bars shall have an area of cross section ASV given by ASV is equal to TUSV divided by B1 D1 0.87 FY plus VUSV divided by 2.5 d1 0.87 fy, but the total reinforcement not be less than, means total transverse reinforcement not be less than tau VE minus tau C divided by 0.87 fy bracket b dot sv, tau VE minus tau C b dot sv upon 0.87 fy, means you have to provide two-legged closed hoops enclosing the corner longitudinal bars. For that you have to find the area of cross section. So this is the formula for finding the area of cross section, and this area of cross section not less than this tau VE minus tau C BSV upon 0.87 fy. Now here we have given number of symbols B1, D1, VU, SV. So here we write what the meaning of these symbols, because this symbol representation gives us easy way for putting the value in our equation. So where Tu is equal to torsional moment, Vu is equal to shear force, Sv is equal to spacing of stirrups reinforcement, B1 is the center to center distance, okay, I show you this B1 D1 with the help of diagram, so it is easy for you to remember this, what is the B1 and what is the D1, X1, Y1 and all. Okay, so first I make the diagram. Here we provide reinforcement. This is our reinforcement. This is what called AST, and this is we called AC, area of concrete. Okay, this one we called, and here this look like this. Now this part we call B1, this part we call X1. Okay, this B1 is center of this reinforcement bar, and this X1 is from this stirrup center. Okay, and this one is the B. Same from this center to this center, this is our D1, and from this center to this center, this is Y1, and from this point to this point, this is called small d, effective depth, and this is our total depth. So this is the diagram which we have draw in case of torsional moment, and this is the value which we calculate like that. Okay, so this is the total steps for finding the torsional moment. So you have to solve the problem with the help of these steps and finding the torsional moment. So this lecture is over, guys. If you have any doubt or any query, then please comment me in my comment box. Thank you.